Greetings everyone, hello and welcome to Cities Skylines 2. How good of you to join. The game is finally coming out and we are having a chance at trying it out early. I mean, this is the full game, this is the release version, and of course we want to play this one. Welcome to the sweeping plains, to, the great city of Sleepy Hollow that we are going to create here. It is summer right now, 21 degrees, right in the beginning of everything in January 2023. We have 500,000 credits available for some basic first city construction, and of course with that we want to jump into the game. Before we start with the building process, however, I just quickly want to show you the settings of what we can go through here. First of all, we have the option of 10 different maps that have all different settings with different land, with more water-based or more mountain-based or flat-based with a river perhaps. Some of them are in the northern hemisphere, some of them are in the southern hemisphere, some of them are North American themed, some of them are European themed. This is very important for the style of buildings, of course. We're playing with the sweeping plains here. This is in the southern hemisphere. We do have winter, but we also have very warm summers. We have some further land, we have some forest patches, we have ore and oil natural resources available to us that we can then use also for some proper heavy industry. If we select the map, we can also choose the city name. As always, we're starting with Sleepy Hollow in the North American theme. We're going to say natural disasters is going to be unlocked, so we're going to see some proper tornadoes and earthquakes, and the rest is that, right? So we definitely also want a bit of a challenge here, so we are not going with unlimited money. You can do this, you can play a perfectly fine sandbox mode just for you. We're also going to disable the tutorials for this. And back again at the beginning of Sleepy Hollow, we start right away. We have not much available right now. Some 1-lane roads, some 4-lane roads, and also one tiny small roundabout. We can then unlock more in the once we get some experience points and stuff like that. So let's continue here with the first road connection that I want to continue, that goes basically right into the heart of Sleepy Hollow here, that we can create. And I just love that road tool because it is really powerful for what you can do with it. It's a tiny patch. We have almost the whole map available for building, so just keep that in mind. We can build some smaller villages around us where we can then have like trains going to the main city and stuff like that. Let's also go ahead with another main road that continues then onwards along the edge of what we can actually do right now, which is this tile over here, right? So the main road continues, and then we also want to have some smaller roads here along the river. So we definitely want to use that river for a nice proper bridge, and also a nice central leisure activity or area where people can actually go and enjoy some river time. So we're going to place some roads along this one. Perfect. Having done that, I would like to continue with another 4-lane road that we just have then, that goes all the way up here. So this is another main road for us. And what you can notice right away is that all of this actually gives me experience points already, right? So every road that you build gets you to the next level, and each level gives you the new buildings that you can unlock. Each level gives you more money as well, and also milestone points that we can use. And here, let's actually then make a nice curve into this main road here. I just love how the road tool works, how dynamic it is really in this game, and you can really do a lot of crazy things with it. And I'm trying to at least do this. Up here, we continue with the main road then. That probably goes a bit up here, and then we're going to make a nice corner and continue all the way then into this area. What you can also notice is that we're not spending that much money out of road construction. So you're not bound by money in the beginning to keep the city as small as possible. You can really just go crazy with some first proper layouts. Another thing we can notice right away is, if I show the contour lines, is that it's going uphill here now, and it's getting a bit steep. So we need to keep this in mind if I want to keep the city kinda like flat. That we probably will need to make a plateau up here or something like that. Let's actually have this road still going all the way up here, and there is something blocking it. And let's just have a quick look of what it is. And there is actually something here. Ruins Stonehead Formation. So you have these landmarks in the scattered across the map that you can use. You can either move them away or you can integrate them into your city, right? We probably have a few more. Over there, for example, is a castle ruin that we can use for, yeah, also some tourist destination then later on. This is really cool, I think. So what I need to do for this one here in particular, we are going to make a nice round around it, because this probably will be integrated into a park or something like that at some point for me. Alright, so we're just going up here. And as you can see, it's already going a bit steeper up now, so I definitely want to finish this one. And we're going then to make another nice way over. All the way until we see the line comes in, and then at a nice 90 degrees going all the way into the main road then once more, as we're making the connection up here. Perfect. With that, we have at least this one fixed. Yeah, and around this one we can then make a tiny road that just uses then these heads here in the middle of it, so we can use them for a park or something like that, just around it, right? I definitely also want to flatten the terrain here a bit, so you can see that we actually managed to flatten it a bit towards the road that is closest to the river, so that we keep the slope steady and also flat, because I definitely don't want to have too many hills here then also, and this is looking really good to me. Very nice. We continue onwards with a bit of a more dense area, of course, because this is going to be our heart of the city, of course. So I definitely want to keep some density available. Probably a park that we could integrate then right here in the city center. Very nice. This road here still needs also its connection. When going up the hill, we can notice something, and that is there is a train line right here in front of the foot of the mountains that we have. And this train line, if we follow that along, is actually leading to nowhere. So this is really just decoration. We don't theoretically need to have this one active. We can integrate it into our city later on if I want to. For now, we can ignore it. The outside connection of the train is actually coming from this side here, so we can follow it along the highway then that also goes to the other side of the map, and here it ends. And you can also see kind of like the borders of what this of the whole scope of this game, and here we can see the outside connections that we have to Claryville, for example, that this here is pointing to. Now, enough with the babbling though. I do definitely want to also start with an industry zone, so we are going to create this road right here. We can also delete the whole road again and have it right here across the edge of the map that we have. This continues onwards then, and here we can have our industry zone now popping up, right? So for starters, we will need a nice road going inwards, and we're probably also going to keep this one straight then all the way to the other side. And here, what we can do then is something very interesting that is new, and that is the grid system. And we can integrate actually a grid point, right, like this, and then have a grid system going all around here, the industry zone. I think this is really cool. I don't know how often I will use it. For starters, we can, however, use it, right? So we can make the whole grid here. Poof, and there it goes, and you have basically built a whole grid system just for this area. We can also do the same thing on the other side to complete the grid in this direction here. Problem is though now that we have the central here that I still need to once again fix. Perfect. With that, we have almost all the foundation that we really need. The only thing that we now need is actually a power supply. So this is the first very important building. We got only one available. The wind turbine would be also available, but we would need to build a few of them. So I'd rather go with the small coal power plant. And this one here is causing pollution, of course. It's causing noise. It does cost me 70,000 credits per month upkeep, and it costs me 100,000 up front. So it's a rather expensive building. Let's have it right here beside the main road as our very first building. I love the scale, how these look, and yeah, well, we can then of course expand upon that, but for now, the first power production active, and we'll also need water as always. For this we have two options available, either the water pumping station from the river. I never liked this solution, so we're going ahead here with the groundwater pumping station, because you now also have groundwater in this game. And as you can see, we can see the patches of groundwater around us, and wherever I built this, I can use a groundwater pumping station. And we're probably going to make our own little road here just for this one. So I'm going to have this road expand all the way up here, and then we can have a groundwater pumping station where we do have some nice density of water. There it is, 64% we have over here, and yeah, water output will be 75,000 cubic meters. So let's go ahead and build it. And with that, we also have water. This is also one of the first modular buildings, right? So a lot of buildings in Cities Skylines 2 have modules that you can add to them to, yeah, make them more efficient overall, and also more throughput, or cleaner, or quieter, or just basically also decoration that we have then as well. Now, these two are fine, and yeah, well, you wonder where's the pipes? The pipes are in the roads, right? So we can see here the power lines in the roads, and we can see water and sewage pipes also already laid out in every road that we have in Cities Skylines 2. So I don't need to worry about that one bit. One more thing we need is the sewage outlet. Unfortunately, we don't have a wastewater treatment plant yet. Also, it's very expensive. So we need to, yeah, we need to just pollute the ocean and the river with that. Let's have a look down streams right here at the edge of my map. We can do this as far away as possible. We built this, and with this single building we also already unlocked the first milestone, so kind of like level 1. We're a tiny village now. Your efforts are being fruit, and your city has taken its first steps towards success. We get some money there as well. We get milestone points, and that's also really important then for us. All right, we now need to actually lay out a pipe though, right? That's the sewage pipe. And I'm just going to make that connection right over here to the sewage pipe output that we have from the streets coming in. And with that, the sewage pipe will already work. Last but not least, let's finish this main road that leads then all the way up to the main road that we have up there. Let's try to keep the angle clear, so that we have this whole square. And with that, we have laid out the foundation of the city for now, I should say. Let's actually get started with the first densities, or the first housing that we want. I'm going to start with some housing here, some basic housing along the road that we have over there. We also have the medium density row housing already available that we'll also need then soon. In this area, we are going to have, of course, have now the first industry. So we can have this then just along the street here, all the way to the power plant. And we can already start with medium density housing as well. That I would like to have a bit more on the inner side of this. Right, so along this road here, for example, we will have some medium density housing. And with that, yeah, let's go ahead and unlock or unpause the game. And this is the beginning. The first, well, chirper messages are coming in, and also the first construction sites. Construction takes a bit longer in Cities Skylines 2, so we are going to wait for these buildings here to finish. Also in the industry zone, the first industrial buildings are being placed and built, while we of course produce electricity. Now, one thing that we can see here right away is that we have a nice overproduction of electricity right now, 20 megawatt. We only consume 400 kilowatt at this point. So a lot of electricity is wasted, while at the same time we have a negative budget. So we're losing 800 credits per hour right now, which is a lot. And I definitely want to keep my money. So what we can do is we can actually export electricity, and we can export water if we want to. Here we have the electricity power line that goes out, right? So this actually goes all the way out to Clareville, I think. And here what we can do is we can actually put a transformer station out that is then transforming this energy from the street, and we can then use it for some output, right? So let's do this. We just need a proper location for it. I think here should be fine. There you go. It's already, I think, being connected now. Very nice. No, it's not. We need to actually also lay out that power line here. There it is. And with that, we should see some, yep, there it is. Electricity trade now popping up. 18 megawatt we actually export right now. Looking at my budget, I can see that we do actually make some 6,000 credits with that now, at least in service trades. And this is the surplus that we're actually trading outside now with electricity. In this area, I would also like to start with my first commercial zone, so something where people can shop, right? And we do need a bit of space then, of course, going all the way up here now. And let's actually make some decoration here too. So I'm going to have the same one with 2 tiles going all the way then to the other side. Perfect, having a little zone here. And we can also make, of course, some connection then with the main road on that side where people can enter. And also probably on that side then here for people to come in on the other side. And quickly after unpausing, we'll also see the first construction sites here now for commercial zones. And yeah, there's also the first inhabitants, the first residents of Sleepy Hollow coming into town with all their hopes and dreams, with their not available education, their not available healthcare. They still think this is a proper place to start their living, and so we'll greet them, of course. And a little bit later, there they are, moving into their proper homes. Oscar Landry and Franklin Landry. These two are actually the first 2 inhabitants of Sleepy Hollow, as the first 17 people move here. They live here. They have an occupation, which is at the moment job level basic. He's working, for example, at the groundwater pumping station. She actually. And they have a dog as well, right? And even the dog has a name. Amaranta, she's called. And they're now starting their life here. They have a wealth level, right? The more they work, the better their education is, the better houses they can afford. Right now, they're living in really basic cabins, as we can see. And this is just basically level 1 now out of 5, once again. And really, these people are completely simulated. I love this. They even have their own age. They're going to age. They're going to die of old age, of course. They have their own education level. They can improve on that. They find better jobs available once they have better education. And yeah, they're just going to live their lives now here. And hopefully also, of course, goodly poop and make babies. A bit further up, the first medium density row houses are coming in place. This is a bit more density, so there's more people living than just one. There's actually 6 households living in one of these houses here. Their requirement is comfortable to wealthy, and they're Dexter Copeland, for example. They're living, and they're also then, of course, working in a certain industry, like in the Leafy Greens, Bedford Street. This guy here in Leafy Greens, he works in vegetable industry. And Sleepy Hollow is coming to life. With more people move in, more industry pops up as well. Right now we have a rate of 100 new people coming in per hour. My credits are looking a bit better now with 900 only negative. So we get also the first taxes now. And I don't know why so many trucks want to get into the green biofuel. Seems like it's quite a busy place. As we can see, this row of low density housing is almost finished, so there's not that much anymore that we can build, and soon the demand will rise again. So we need to, well, work on more space for these guys. And I would like to have another major road now going up here into the hills. We can use the existing crossing that we already have, probably somewhere over here. That goes then a bit deeper into the mountains, and I would like to call this the cascading neighborhood that we have, and you'll just see why, because there's going to be some cascading neighbor going in like this, and then we have some people living here. And of course it needs to be mostly low density, as it's a bit further outside. And this game kind of like has a new economic model in that case, that you have a lot of low density demand early on. The better education or wealth requirements are going for people, the more demand for medium density to high density residential zone is. So in that case here, we are going to need a lot of low residential zones for a few medium residential buildings at this point. It does switch around later on, but for now, low residentials are the primary factor of housing for us that we need to work on. This city definitely needs another crossroad or crossing here, another junction right here for people to move from one place to the other. And while the city is growing, we can also have a quick look at the milestones. Oh, we've also unlocked a first signature building, the Rock Musician's Mansion. A famous rock star lives in this mansion when not on tour. We're going to have a look at that in a second. So my progression tree right now, we have the first achievement here, and there we have the milestones. So Tiny Villages is, and of course it goes all the way up here to Megalopolis. And right now we have a loan limit of 100,000 credits. We got some map tiles, some basic ones, some basic roads that we have unlocked as well with that, and also some bridges. And also what we can see here, healthcare and garbage management have been unlocked. And I would like to use these two services now and integrate them into the city. The first one is healthcare. Now we have an average happiness population right now. Healthcare is one of their major factors, as we can see here. Unreliable healthcare coverage actually reduces the happiness. So we do need that, and we have the first medical clinic here as a basic building for that. Now we need to choose a proper location, probably not along a main road, because that usually leads to a bit of congestion. So we can use it in our residential or in our commercial zone even. Somewhere over here we do have some space. Let's just make sure that it's not overlapping too much, and poof, there we can actually place it in with a nice parking area that it also has. And as always, this one here also has then modules, extension wings that we can add along the road here, for example, and also new wings in the building itself that would increase its capacity. It has a capacity of up to 100 patients, and as we can see also there's a storage of pharmaceuticals coming in now. This then also leads to more traffic. These service buildings now need input directly, so this means also that trucks directly need to go to them and cause more traffic problems than probably down the road. My cascading neighborhood is also coming along, as it's almost full, right? And as we can see, low density residential demand is climbing once more, faster than we can actually cope with it. Now that means that I will probably need to do some map tile expansion now, because this area here is reserved for higher density households. So let's have a look. We have 3 new map tiles that we can purchase, and as you can see, it's huge. So we can actually go crazy in this whole area here with all these tiles. We're just in the center of it at the moment, right? And we can even purchase tiles right up here at the peak of the mountains. I wonder what we can do in here. Probably a mountain village or something that goes down then into the valley. Who knows? For starters, we need to find us some new space. So I would like to move a bit more now towards the highway down here, so we can purchase this for 8,000 credits. We can also see right away what kind of raw materials are in these tiles. So in here, for example, we got no oil and no ore. A bit of further land perhaps for some farming. Let's purchase this expansion that leads then down here. And on the other side here, I would like to probably purchase another tile for my cascading neighborhoods for the lower residential zones. Or you know what? Let's actually purchase these 2 tiles here for 18,000, because with that we can make another smaller neighborhood down here, and I would like to have a bigger commercial zone than in this area too. Also, we're getting some more experience points because the population is still increasing right now at a rate of 184 people. So I'm going to move the transformer a bit further down here, where it has then its outside connection. However, it does not have an inside connection right now because it's not attached to any road. So this is also something we need to then fix once again. Go ahead and just expand this road again, as we already previously had. There you go. And then I will probably have another main road that goes now into this area. And hooray, there it is already, the second milestone, small village. Congratulations, you're moving ahead very nicely. 700,000 credits again, some milestone points we have. And with that, we can also purchase another 4 map tiles. Let's have a look at the progression table. And here we can see now the medium density housing has been unlocked with that. Taxation has been unlocked, and also education with the elementary and the high school as our first 2 educational buildings. Now in this area, what I can see is we got a bit of a problem here with the elevation. So it goes down here rather steeply into the highway area then. So we have 2 options here, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, the first one would be to make a plateau out of it, or the second one is to create a steady slope towards the highway. I think for now, let's actually go with a bit more a plateau setting. For that, we have the slope terrain tool, and I can just now go ahead and make this one here a nice plateau that we have, like this way here. As we can see, there it is then going steeply down really. And what I can do in this area is I use my main road then like this. And probably use it then along the plateau that we have. And this goes in then in this really cool section that the game also automatically implements. And just move the road along the slope. I would also like to reduce the slope, of course. We can use this with the softening tool to get this one a bit more natural looking. And over here, let's have this road then going all the way down here to the transformer area. So we also provide the transformer with electricity. There you go. And this one here can make its connection once again back into this area. This is a low residential zone, so there's going to be some houses here, and that's about it. Let's actually get us another road in here, so we can probably do it somewhere then. And as we can see, demand is already rather high again, so let's just go ahead and get us those lower buildings in here. More industry zone is needed, but we also have a first signature building, and that is the Rock Musicians Mansion. And this one here is increasing the well-being of everyone in a surrounding of 500 meters. So we probably should have it where we do have a few more houses. Yeah, somewhere like here we could have it. Somewhere also in these neighborhoods. So something in here I think should be fine. Let's find us a proper location for this one. Probably closer to the river overlooking it, so somewhere here. And there's now a famous rockstar musician. Is that him? Adrian Summers? That might be him already. Or it might also not be him. Another thing I should be doing is expanding a bit on my industry zone. So we are going to continue the grid all the way down here to the end of it. Then probably also a bit further over, where we're then going to have another connection leading to the highway. And I'm not going to use the grid system though this time around again. We're going to make us a nice smaller industry zone here. And over here, I would like to also have now my first waste management building, and that's the landfill. We can have this one also then just along the street, like so. And the cool thing about this one is now that we actually need to determine the landfill ourselves. So this one is actually having no capacity at the moment, some barely 61 tons. And we can now increase that by increasing the landfill area. So I would like to move it now all the way along the street here. And as you can see, it then adjusts itself to this area. With that, we can increase now the storage of garbage that is being filled in here. And the garbage trucks will make sure that we actually get the garbage to this location. Of course, this one is also having then employees, so it's, well, creating jobs for us. Some minor pollution, and air pollution and noise pollution. And up to 10 garbage vehicles we can use. And as always, we have modules. So we can have more truck depots along the road, having more trucks in here. We can have also the hazardous waste collection point, just in case I need nuclear power at some point. And we can of course also further have a recycling unit attached to this building. By now the little neighborhood has fully grown and already the local residential demand is already pretty high again. As you can see, medium though is rather non-existent. That's because those few medium houses that we have right now are perfectly sufficient already for the demand. However, low residential continues to rise rather quickly. So what we can do is we need to create new neighborhoods then around the core city, probably then expanding over the river. What I would also like to do is looking a bit barren here around those residential zones, so we can of course also add trees. And the cool thing is we get a tree brush in right away that we can place. Let's increase the brush size. Let's also increase the brush strength so that we can add, for example, some pine trees in between here. And I would also like to add some bushes in between. And probably also some wildflower bushes. And the thing is, it's not popping up immediately, right? As basically those trees need to grow first. So it's going to take them a while. And once they're fully grown, we'll then see a nice blossoming new neighborhood here. We can then also increase or, well, adjust the slope here once we purchase this tile, because right now there's not enough space to do this. But of course, this is not going to stay. Yeah, for now though, also my commercial demand is increasing, so I would like to add some more commercial zones than here in the inner city. Also along the main road then. We get some more experience points again, thanks to a growing population. And will you just look at how dramatic this looks? The fumes with the snow-covered mountains in the background, I love it! Absolutely fantastic. And with that, we continue onwards then with Sleepy Hollow in the next episode with some more expansion and probably also a bridge. I hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned.